Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Recipe time.
This recipe is absolutely delicious. It is called a sausage quiche pie. Let's look at the recipe.
Sounds good.
It calls for 2 containers of morinu tofu soft, 2 cups of mock sausage crumbles, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice fresh, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 1/2 cup of onions chopped, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast flakes, 1/4 cup of vegan Parmesan alternative, and 1 whole wheat pie crust. Now,
sausage quiche.
I do have to say to you, Curtis.
What do you need to say to me?
That I love quiche.
And I love you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's actually a French dish, and it's a dish that's made with lots of creams, half and half, and whole milks and cheeses. And so we've got our modified version, including the sausage is a mock sausage, so it's not real. Because you remember on 3ABN, on Abundant Living, we do not do any milk, eggs, cheese in our product, all plant-based foods. Because of expediency's sake, we want to make sure they see the end product. We've already got the sausage and the onions and the olive oil just cooking away over there.
Move this around a little bit?
If you would just take and stir it down, and I'm going to go over here and start putting the things together. It's going to go in to the recipe itself, okay?
Now you mentioned that this is a mock sausage
mock
again.
Sausage.
Now, of course, we have our brand that we use, but in case someone may be wondering, or
on the market there are, when you're talking about alternatives, you want to look around for something that has that sausage flavor. And if push comes to shove, you can actually use another mock, maybe a ground beef, which is not real beef either, and add a little bit of sage to it. And you that's really where the sausage meets the road, is that sage actually is in there that does that as well. I've already gotten my tofu ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting in the other ingredients in this as well. The soft tofu is in here. I'm going to turn the machine on, my food processor, and I'm going to begin to add in all the rest of the ingredients, okay? So we got the lemon juice, and we have the yeast flakes, we've got the turmeric, we also have the salt as well as the garlic. So let's go ahead and start that up. Stop it for 1 minute there so we can make sure that everything goes around. Now, the name of the game, of course, because we're assimilating cheese, Curtis, we have to get something that looks just like that, that have that cheese color, and turmeric is one of them. Okay, you don't want to put too much in there because it might look too dark. And the other one, of course, is the nutritional yeast flakes. That helps to give a cheesy type of a flavor as well.
We eat with our eyes.
Absolutely. We're going to put that back on. I'm going to add then in the salt, the garlic, and then we're going to throw in a little bit of that Parmesan.
Okay.
I saved a little bit of that Parmesan because we're going to put that on top for garnishing.
Oh, to sprinkle over the
over
quiche?
Top of it when we get done, okay? And it is ready to go. Now, your sausage should be ready to go and ready to receive the ingredients here that I have. It's ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this off. And I'm going to slowly pour in this sauce. This is the actual ingredient. No, go ahead and put your sausage back like I had it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and pour it in, and then you're going to lightly toss that in as well.
No cholesterol quiche.
No cholesterol. It took a while to develop this particular recipe.
Yes.
Because, like I said, I like quiche, and I was trying to figure out. And one time before we did this program, we did a spinach quiche.
I remember.
Okay, a spinach quiche. So here we go now with a mock sausage for all those ones who are meat lovers and want some kind of exchange as well.
Okay.
Okay. Gonna stir that around and get all the goodies. Hold on a minute, honey. Let me get this out of here.
Okay.
You see that nice creamy base?
Yes,
it looks
it
just
is.
like it has a cheese base there to it. I'm going to get the rest of this out.
And this meat texture that we're using, mock meat, you don't really miss the meat as well.
No.
It has a nice mouthfeel.
It's nice mouthfeel. And let me just get that last
bit.
bit.
Turn this up a little bit?
Yeah, turn it up just a tad. I don't want it to burn, just a little bit there. Okay.
All right.
And, you know, because it's actually more or less warming it, Curtis, because
so
it's
not
going
really
to
cooking
cook.
it.
No.
Okay.
It's going to cook when it bakes in the oven. It actually goes in the oven. All right. So you're stirring that around and move that out the way, because we also have with us our whole wheat shell.
Now, before you go to the whole wheat shell, you mentioned about the vegan Parmesan alternative. Again, this is a mock alternative for Parmesan cheese.
Right.
So you can get that at any health food store, but
at the health food store, and we've got a mock. Believe it or not, we have a mock cheese that I've actually made in our first cookbook, Revised Vegetarian Cooking Made Easy.
I thought it was in the global.
No, it's in the revised book.
Okay.
All right. Now, you know, we talked about a crust, a whole wheat crust, and we also have that in our book as well. And the whole wheat crust is actually a whole wheat pastry flour, and then we've also used with that an oat flour. And the way you make the oat flour is you just take oatmeal, which is like a cup of oatmeal, old-fashioned oats, and you put it into your blender, and you blend it and make a flour out of it, and you mix it in with your pastry flour, and once again it's got olive oil there, a little bit of salt, and then you're going to use your water, and you wind up making this beautiful whole wheat crust. All right.
Okay.
And I like it because you make the crust actually in the dish, Curtis.
Oh, right.
Once
there
you
in the
make it
dish.
up, once you make it up, you actually just take your fingers and you just move around and get your sides in place, and then you mash down the bottom portion to get the bottom portion in place.
Okay.
And then you take a fork and you stick the fork in it so that you won't have that puffiness that will come sometime from that crust itself. It will puff up if it does not have enough air in it through the holes to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this, and we're going to go ahead on and
I'll turn the
fill.
fire off.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if
just
those
enough.
who want to do something that's faster than that, they can just buy the whole wheat pie crust.
You can buy the whole wheat pie crust. This one, normally people have things like oatmeal.
Oh, okay.
You know,
so that's something that
and
can
you
make
use,
easily.
you can the oatmeal, and then also you can use, if you don't have the pastry flour, you can use a regular flour as well.
Okay.
But once again, because of health, we want to make sure it's like a whole wheat one, right?
Okay.
Whole wheat crust. Okay, so we're going to pour this inside the pie.
Oh, this is going to work. I can see this is going to work right here. Yes, it is. All right.
Okay.
This will help us beat the blues.
This will help
Because
us.
one thing that causes us to have blues is that there's no food on the table. I mean, I really get blue when there's no food, and I'm a hungry person, so this will help me tremendously.
Well, you know, I have this friend. His name is Ben, and every time we do foods or do anything that has to deal with foods, he said he gets so hungry.
Right.
So hungry.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to mash this, move this around, smooth it out in this shell. It makes a wonderful, and believe it or not, quiches have lots of eggs in it. There's no
that's
eggs
true.
in this quiche
Okay.
whatsoever, and so with that in mind, we're going to just take a little bit, just a little bit of the Parmesan, and we're going to just sprinkle on top, on top, on top. And then we're going to put this in the oven. It goes in the oven at first at 400 degrees, and it's going to bake for about 45 minutes. The center is going to become very, very firm. I'm telling you, when this thing is finished, it's wonderful. So you want to stay by.